And so as we start today, we're going to continue in spring, as it's becoming more relevant every single day. And it's interesting, if you're paying attention, even if it's 46 degrees, it's a different 46 degrees than it is in January. And I think that's crazy to, be able to recognize that really there is a shifting of sun and earth, and just that shifting of where we are and where the sun's hitting and how it's hitting, the angles, all that can affect the way that we feel 46 degrees. Have any of you this week had something arise in you that was spring related? Allergies, oh, so real. So real. I'm getting up in the middle of the night last night because my eye is itching so bad, and I'm like, I just need a cold rack. Oh my eyeball. So I hear you. Anyone else?
We were in Santa Fe yesterday, and the cherry blossoms are beautiful.
Completely.
My daffodils are popping up on the south side of my house.
Yes. Full sun. Yes.
We saw crocuses coming up in the field.
We did. Those little ones that start small and get a little taller. Anyone? They're very active. And skitty and all those kind of creepy things that prairie dogs do. Yeah. I have a car filled, driving over here today, with stuff for Angel's Attic. Like, I think that's super so weird. That there's something inside of us, if we pay attention, that really says, get rid of what you don't need anymore. But it is also weird, I want to go shopping.
Yeah.
I bought a dress to wear to the mini mart. What? Really? So thinking about how we think these systems are way further than what we really know. Like these cycles that happen, these seasons that move, they are within us alive. And if we're conscious, they provide motivation and energy to do these things that are important to us, to do these things that are needed. What if I never went to my closet and got out the stuff? What would that look like year after year after year after year? Has anyone noticed a shifting even in maybe their digestion, maybe a craving, maybe how you want to eat or when you want to eat?
More ice cream.
Summertime in Texas escorts ice cream into our culture. So yes, Papa's feeling the ice cream for sure. I don't really like salads in the winter, and I'm not a picky eater. It just doesn't give me a stew. So as we begin to move in this spring class today, the invitation is to let go of the things that are not serving. The things, and for so many of us, it is thoughts and ideas, it is boundaries and parameters, it is a storyline that is not serving anymore. I can't, I should, I need, all of these things. And this time of year activates within us as beings, as humans, this ignition. Well, here's where curiosity comes in. So spring has this deep sense of curiosity. I wonder if my is going to come up. Right? I wonder if we will. I wonder. So it produces this feeling within us of possibility. So if we were to let go of the things that we don't need, maybe ice cream every night, Papa. And embrace what that would open up for us to acquire, notice, experience. So today's offering, as you move, is like a feeling of this, right? Maybe, and you may not notice it. This may be something that you do all day, right? But in the class today, the invitation is to notice, right? And then ask yourself, is this something I might want to let go? Just maybe, just to think about, right? And if I were to let it go, what might be possible? Right? All right, so find your seat. Today we'll need 2 blocks and a chair. Find your feet on the ground. My hope is that you're beginning to feel these in your body as you are at home, as you're in your car, as you're walking down the street. I have literally the coolest parents, and I went on a walk with one of them, and he, just to tell you which one, literally asked, because he was walking on dirt, and asked, how is it that I can feel it deeper and better? And the difference in just the question, and I'm like, I don't know, how can you? Guess what he already knew? You know, so all of you guys today, as we really go to how do we let it go to open up to the possibility. As your feet are on the ground, maybe feeling your sits bones. If you haven't taken a full body breath, do that for the first time today. Belly expands. Back expands. And then as you exhale, feeling just that collection back towards your center. And when you do, there's always that invitation on the exhale, that collecting back strength to get just a little taller. You can even feel as if the head reaches towards the sky and the sits bones and the feet find the ground just a little deeper. Because when we do that deep sense of connection, we're able to find more space. Even if the vertebrae, imagine it, they just pop off each other a millimeter. Space all the way up to the top of your head. Now, with your eyes open or closed, as you stay connected to the space that you just created, the breath moving in and out. This is an ambiguous, kind of interesting question. No answer, just a question. Can you feel the presence of this natural rhythm of season, springtime, within you? Now, for some of you, that might feel so hard to grasp. So let me toss something your way. When you were a child and spring started coming, what did that do for you? How did it feel in you? What opportunities did it open for your heart, for your mind, and for your body? So as we take about 10 breaths with this question, the natural rhythm, the natural cycle of spring within us, where is it that I feel it? You can start with the memory and maybe move to this moment. Taking 2 more, just full body breaths. Feeling spring inside of you. And then very slowly exhale, letting your eyes take in some light. Without moving your head, can you look up at the ceiling? Look down at the floor. Look over to the left, over to the right. See if you can find diagonals up and down, crossing other side and down. And then begin to slowly just circle one direction with your eyes. Anybody feeling a little dizzy? Other direction with your eyes. And then taking the palms of your hands together, create a little bit of heat. Faster you go, more heat you get. Then the palms, the ball part of the palms, just gently without pressing, place them over your closed eyes. Take a full body breath. And as you exhale, a little longer through the spine, coming in towards your center. Take your hands down, shake out. My hands are cold, and if I shake, my ring's gonna come off. All right, shake out in front, up above, to the sides. Grab your seat, shake one leg, maybe 2 legs. I don't know what works for you. All the way down to your toes. Can you get your other direction if you're only going one way? And then bring your feet back down. All right. Placing your feet on the ground, we're gonna stand. Then we're gonna find our blocks, okay? So, feet on the ground, full inhale. And as you stand, feel that connection to the sky. Lift on your exhale and come up. As I look around the room, some of us are really wide and toes pointed out. Heel toe so that you are close to under your hips. If your toes go out a little bit, that's completely fine. Now, big inhalation, big exhalation. On your next inhale, keep the head and the sky connected and find your seat. So you have 5 times we're gonna do that. You can have your blocks in your hand as you move. You can take your arms and move them up and down, however you might want to move. But we're gonna sit intentionally 5 times, lifting on the exhale, sitting on the inhale. Remember the plop and see if you can sit on your chair like it is made of glass. Super hard. One of the cool things about this practice, remember to keep the head connected to the sky the whole way down and the whole way up. If you notice your knees are blocking in when you go to sit or stand, grab your blocks, stick it between your legs. And let's just give you a point of reference. If not, and you really feel like you've got that strength, no block, whatever works for you. So move at your pace. Slow, 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 slow. Head up, long spine. Head up, long spine. 2 more times just for fun because y'all are doing such a good job. And then we'll end standing with blocks in your hand. Be close to your chair so that if you need access to it, you've got it. Okay, as we take our blocks, grab the thumb on one side, fingers on the other, and find a good grip. Same with the other hand. Good grip. With our hands down by our sides, can you imagine that each one of these blocks weighed about 7 or 8 pounds? How would that change the way you hold them? He may not be able to sit up front, guys. We might have to put him in the back. Okay. How would you hold them differently? What access parts of your body would you find? Anyone notice their shoulder blades said, oh yes, I can help. Thank you. Yes, perfect. Now, keeping that thought, you're going to take your legs out a little wider. So if your hips are here, a little wider than your hips. Begin shifting your weight. You've still got weight in both hands. So you're feeling like when you come over, there's heavy here. And as you come over, there's heavy here. And move as if you're balancing out those weights. Now, in the middle, pause, feel that. Straight up the center line. And then shift. Can you feel the weight shift to the leg that's bent? I'm looking out, and some of you guys, I want to go and encourage you just to bend that knee right over your toes. Even sit your bottom back just a little bit. And then up and over. So can you see the height shift? Up and down. And up and down. Now, I can come forward, right, and put a lot of torque on my knee. Or I can shift back when I bend, bottom back, and keep the strength in the back side of my body. Did y'all feel the difference? So keep the strength. I like to imagine that my bottom's rubbing up against a wall when I do this. And I'm pushing into that wall. And it keeps my body activated on the back side.
If we use our hand against the head, would it
You
be
can do the
easier?
same, yes, absolutely. So if you feel like you can't access it, you can press the back of the head into the block or your hand, okay? So slide. Now, we're gonna squat in the center, heavy blocks. I can see some of you had lost that kind of feel, okay? The reason we're doing heavy blocks is because if not, we tend to do this when we move. And if we imagine that these blocks are super heavy, and if you're squeezing into those blocks, it's gonna keep your shoulders open, chest open. And that's what we're looking for, right, in spring? As the crocuses, how do you say that wrong? Yes, crocuses are doing their little open. So we're opening up, okay? Ribs and hips are in line and side to side. Now keep low, okay? Your legs now, it's up to you, can go as wide as you want. So some of you might want wider legs, and you can go lower. Now remember your hands, you can put them in front, to the side, to the back, but you're still opening through your chest, side to side. Can you look with your neck as it stays really long around the room? So your bottom's rubbing up against the wall. The next time you find yourself going to the left, pause. This is when you're gonna love spring, right? So you can bounce a little bit. Now for some of you, you may notice that your knee wants to come in, right? Do your best to keep your knee open and over your toes, even if it's just a little bend. And you can bounce to that side. Are both feet grounded? Has your head sunk? Then shift center Shift to the other side, go back and forth. I know, tired. Seriously, Cameron. Okay, here we go. The next time you find yourself on the right, pause. Feel into this space. Are you coming forward? Long spine. Can you feel, is my knee rotating in? Remember, your chair is right there if you need it. Pause here. Find space. And the more that you find yourself on that right side, the more you're working that right side. Strength. Anyone feel stability? Find your feet. Pause and center. Bounce just a little bit. So knees, they may want to rotate in. Keep them coming back. If you need to bring your feet in closer, just to make sure that your knees are going over your toes. And your ribs and the hips are staying in the same plane. So we're not here, we're here, long through the spine. All right, up, heel toe back together. Do a little stance, put your blocks down, give your arms a break. When you stomp on the ground, feel your whole foot. Like, I want to hear the stomp. So if you're at home, do the same thing. Like, really feel the whole connection of your feet. So we don't do this, guys. I see a lot of y'all being kind of like, but pick them up, put them into the ground. Your feet might be saying, ow. It doesn't have to be fast. It can be slow. But feel that connection. When we do this, the vibration, you can feel the vibration, right? Up through your bones, tells the bones to get stronger. So if we take a minute or two a day, and we really have that deep connection, vibration through the bones, we are finding strength. Now, why in spring is it a good time to get strong? Because we have a lot to do in the summer. Pause. Find the connection from the soles of your feet to the top of your head. Feel into your body. What do you notice? Take 3 or 4 big, huge, full body breaths. And this time when you inhale, imagine that expansion going all the way to the tips of your fingers, all the way to your toes, all the way to the tops of your ears and your head. So you're expanding. Belly, back, sides. And as you exhale, feel this collection lengthen back towards center. Notice if your shoulder blades have stayed on your back. One more big breath all together. And let it out. Perfect. Okay, both blocks. The beautiful part about spring is that it is filled with creativity. Colors pop. Somebody said cherry blossoms. I can't remember who it was. Yes, that you saw, the cherry blossoms. The colors of the flowers, like all of these things that begin to happen. We have soft grass, we have pokey grass, we have, new buds on all sorts of different things. And so with our creativity, I want us to give today a moment for us to find that within our bodies, okay? Most of us think of creativity as a set action. I'm going to paint, I'm going to knit, I'm going to, remodel a room, whatever. But could we experience it, creativity, as we're driving, as we're doing dishes, as we're having a cup of tea, drinking our coffee in the morning? What would it feel like in our body to allow for growth, color, expression to be a part of our daily. So with the help of our little balls, our imagination, grab a hold of your blocks, again, very intently. So in the springtime, guys, we use our hands a lot to begin to cultivate new things, whether we're writing, whatever it may be, working in the ground. And when we grip and squeeze, we isometrically, which means that we are contracting the muscles in our hands to create more strength. I can feel it if I'm doing it up even into my forearms, so it's working through my wrists and all the way up. You can access even up, I can feel my trapezius if I'm squeezing intentionally. So as we squeeze intentionally, we're going to stay with this idea of open, right? So as we move our body organically, creatively, I'm not going to be the one that tells how, when, what, where, but begin to move so that you open up places that may have been closed. So you can push and open, you can come down and open, you can use your chair even if you want to practice sitting, reaching, coming behind, opening up through your chest, even thinking about your joints being contracted and then opening wide. How can you move the whole body? So your legs, if you contract your knees down and then expand and open. What about your ankles? How can you move your ankles and feet and toes in such a way? We're going to keep our blocks. Squeeze, 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 just creating. Can you find diagonals? Even oppositions, like opening. So you know that each muscle fiber is covered in this fascia that needs to be expanded and contracted and expanded. So you can move. Can you turn through your rib cage and reach behind? As we begin to watch our hands as they move all around, can you come low and maybe drop your head and rise up? When we drop our head below our heart space, it increases our circulation. Can you find circles and not just lines? What about our hips? Can they find circles? Then take and place your blocks down and begin to invite your wrists, fingers, hands, neck, okay, if you have stayed in one place, the next invitation is to ground in one leg, move the other leg. Could be a little bit or a lot. And switch from side to side. So if you ground your right leg and then you move left leg. If you ground left leg, you can up and move right leg. Find the longest line in your body. What might that be? Can you get there through the whole, from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head? Shifting, circling. We'll do this for about another minute. So engage in your body with this idea of open. Open. For some of us, this really is about opening perspective. Like, are you kidding? Another minute? Where can I find this? Can you envision diving in a pool? Can you envision swinging on a swing? Can you feel yourself planting in the ground? Dancing. Woohoo! So as we come back to center, placing left hand on your heart, feet under your hips, hand on top of your left hand. As you find yourself here, notice your breath. Some of you might notice a thump, thump, thump underneath the left hand. Can you feel the rhythms and the cycles of spring in your body? Right here, right now. And in that depth of feeling, the heat, anyone feel some heat? Feeling the liveliness, the movement. Can you see and envision the possibility of the planting, of the project, of the vacation that may have been dormant underneath the soil of your heart? So as we take 3 big breaths, full body, finding space. Notice if your knees are just hyperextended and you're just clenching your knees. Soften into your knees so you can feel the base of your feet all the way to the top of your head. Then as your eyes open, if they're closed, give it a little shake, a little stomp. We're going to use our chair, so however you need to get it so that the chair is like you're looking at the back of the chair and your blocks in the seat of the chair. So you stand so that you can either see, or if you feel pretty good just about hearing, that's great. So our blocks, as often are used in yoga, are extensions of our arms, to give us access to places that are hard for maybe our bodies to find and reach. So today, as we go and we're going to use the chair, you're going to use your blocks as extensions. If you find you don't need them, totally fine. But as of right now, let's all start, and then we'll move from there. So as we stand in front of our chair, grounding down into our left leg, okay? Hinging our bottom back so that we're at a 90. Can you guys see this 90-degree angle that then gets made? You should be able to easily find your chair. From here, okay, press into the chair so that you can lengthen your tailbone away from the top of your head. Feel that as gravity pulls on your body. So you're pressing. Feel the legs grounded. Shift your weight to the right. Shift your weight to the left. When you find yourself on the right, you're going to take your left knee and bring it up into your belly. Hold it, pressing into your right foot. Lengthen your neck so it's free, long, and clear. Take a belly breath. Then drop that left leg down. Shift to the right, shift to the left. You can make that little shift or a really big one where you kind of feel into the sides of your hips. Then you'll find the left foot heavy, right knee up into your belly. Notice if the belly drops and you really kind of collapse into this, or can you take the spine, lengthen the tail away from the top of the head, pressing into the chair, feeling the connection of all the points that are touching as you're able to lift that back towards the sky. And drop down. Shift side to side. Keeping a deeper connection. Now, some of you might want to move to the chair. No blocks at all. Just changes, angles. You can try it. If you find yourself here, walk so that your shoulder is over your wrist. And that you are not spilling into the back part of your hand, but that you're able to press your fingertips in as well. So you have a full hand connection. I'm going to give you some time to feel that. Look at your elbow pits. No one knew what these were called. Now you do. All right. So take your elbow pits and best you can, move them so they face each other. Then, as you exhale, knees soft, open the elbow pits as far away from each other as you can. So you're moving them so they look at each other, and then you're rotating them. Anyone feel their shoulder blades moving in this action? All right, so be aware. So as we move, take the elbow pits away from each other. Shoulder blades heavy on our backs. Belly isn't collapsed, but you're really holding the whole spine in the back of your head up towards the ceiling. Shift your weight to the right. Shift your weight to the left. It may even feel more comfortable for you to bring that right foot a little closer to center, because we're going to lift the left leg. And as we do, shoot the leg behind you, a little or a lot. Now notice if the front of your foot is pointing down towards the ground and your hips are squared, or if you have the foot open. And go from that open, where the foot is pointing out and away from your center line, or closed and the hips are squared and the foot's pointing down. For some of you, that might be a huge action. Okay, bend your knee, bring it into your belly. Round your back this time as you tuck your chin. And drop your foot. Shake it out in your hips. You need to give your wrists a little break. So blocks tend to not create so much pressure on your wrists. So you can come back up to blocks. They can be done this way. You can hold them this way. And it tends just to give you a little less wrist tension. Some of you guys might be noting that this is tiring for your hands. Okay? So in that, remember, we're doing this to cultivate strength in all parts of our body. So don't force it, just notice and take breaks when you need to. So if you need to bring your blocks back, we're gonna do the other side. So shift weight side to side, maybe moving that left leg a little closer to center. And again, whether you use blocks or not, keep the connection of the seat on as much of your body as you can. Then lift right leg up, shoot it out behind you. So now feel the difference between the top of the foot pointing down and your hips being squared towards the ground, or pointing the foot away from their center, toes pointing away, and you're opening up your hip. Closing your hip, opening your hip. Closing your hip, opening your hip. be too high. Do it a couple of more times. When your body's ready, tuck that knee in, round your back. Take a breath. And lower your leg down. Now with both of your feet heavy on the ground, long spine, can you take and grab elbow to elbow and pause here? Now for a lot of us, really hard on our lower back. So lengthen the spine. Sit heavy in the back of your body. Keep your knees soft, your hips back. Hold. Maybe you bounce up and down just a tiny bit. Hold. Long through the spine. Long through the spine. Then round your back, tuck your chin, and roll on up. Shake it out. Stomp. Shake. Find your shoulders. And then pause. So we're going to do one more opener, all right? Some of you might have been informed with just that. How's our hip? Do I have access to both internal and external? Am I really weak in a particular way? That is an information that invites you. It's an information that invites you to take this home, because this isn't going to create the strength. This is going to create the tool. It's going to create the access. But you guys get to choose whether or not you bring it into your day, okay? So now we're going to use our chairs where we come and we stand on the side of the back. So just move them around. We have such access here, which is great. So you'll need your chair to the side. If you want to bring a layer to this, you can stand on your block. We did this the other day while we do what we're about to do. If you're like, I'm tired, keep your feet on the ground. So you get to choose whether or not you want to add that layer. So it'll be the foot that's closest to your chair. Please recognize that force is not the goal. Listening, figuring out, and if you try it and it doesn't serve you, there you go, right? Don't do it. So as you press into the ground of your block, feel the lift all the way from the sole of your foot to the top of your head. Can you access your breath? Not just here, but through your whole body. Okay? Now, you may need to adjust where your chair is so that you feel comfortable. Press into the chair, not collapse into the chair. Press so it gives you more height. As you do, invitation to bend the leg that hangs, open, and then close. So you begin to do a hip circle. Now, if this feels too much, get your other leg on the ground. So almost like you're creating a figure 8. Can you feel it? Press into your chair. Where are your shoulders? Are they in your ears? Point. Maybe you move your arm. Find your breath. And when you are ready and your body is done, drop down, pause. For fun, if you don't have your block underneath, have it close. And we're gonna do that little hip hike real quick to engage, again, those muscles that really help us stay stable when we walk. So if you don't have your block, bring it in. Now stand on your block. From the sole of your foot to the top of your head, lift. Now you're going to, some of you may need to actually put your hand on the top of your hip so you can feel this. Lift the hip. Drop. the hip. Lift the hip. Lots of you feeling a lot going on. So in there, drop this leg to the ground. If she had opposite leg intensity, so drop it to the ground and then smaller. Yeah. So here, if it's accessible to you. Maybe 10 times. If there was one exercise that I would encourage you guys to do from this class daily, soften your knee, find a book or a block, and do this hip list is what it's called. It is going to prepare you for walking, hiking, step climbing like none other. And drop it down. Whichever leg you need to wiggle in. Wiggle, wiggle.
Oh, is that heavy?
Crazy, right?
Really heavy. That's crazy.
Okay, so now you're going to take your chair, move it to the other side. With or without block, your call. Find your whole foot. From the bottom of your foot to the top of your head, rise. I really have to adjust my chair. Please adjust your chair to where it feels comfortable. Then, bending your knee, find the length, begin to move the hips. So we're doing hip circles. Slow, if you want. Notice if your standing leg, if the knee is hyperextended. If it is, soften just a little bit. It's going to add a little bit more work in the muscles. Now, notice, is it harder to go out? Harder to come in? Maybe 4 or 5 more big circles. Big breath. And when you're ready, pop down. Shake it out. Circle. And as we hand on our hip, lock underfoot, lift from the sole of the foot to the top of the head. Remember to breathe. And hip hike. Drop and lift. And drop and lift. So the chair is there. Pressing into it will activate more core stability. If you want to practice more balance, you can soften your hold on the chair. If you want to even practice more balance, don't put your foot down. Just lift. Maybe 3 or 4 more times. And then drop. Big exhale. Hands on both hips, legs wide past your hips. Shift, come onto your toes. Take your body. So if you're shifting over to the left, take your body to the right. Long neck. If you're shifting, take your body so you're alternating. 2 more times and we'll meet back at center. Pause. Then hips forward. I can feel my psoas when I do that. And back. Side. Forward. Side. And back. The next invitation is to heel toe feet in. Drop your shoulder blades on your back. Soften your knees greatly. Almost like you're on a trampoline. You can feel that kind of reverberation all the way up, okay? Now with soft knees, take your hips and we're gonna end class here today. You may want to have your blocks or even your chair. And let me show you why. Y'all can watch and then you can decide. So we're gonna fold forward, soft knees, hips back, feet underneath our hips. Pause here, just like we did earlier. Then the invitation is to come down. Now, keeping our knees super soft and our hips super back, dropping the head down. Now it can be done with the chair. You can take your blocks and use them as arm extensions. So you find your shape. It may be this is where you stop. Feel a deep core connection between your inner thighs here. Almost as if energetically they're magnetized towards each other. That protects the lower back. Then begin to just gently bend one knee and then the other. Remember, force is not where we're aiming, but an opening. So you're opening through your hamstrings, maybe turning your head a little to the right and a little to the left. Finding stillness, taking a full breath in, bringing your hands onto your thighs, knees soft. Press hands into thighs and just come up halfway so your body's parallel to the ground. Take another full breath. Another full breath. And walking your hands up your thighs, go ahead and come to standing slowly. Dropping your shoulder blades on your back, palms out. Feeling that connection from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Neck is long, body is holding itself as you are invited to feel the season of spring within your body as it is alive, whether you knew it or know it. Thank you guys.